Hello, Adofo Yachiachia Munina. We are greeting all of you. We've meet again. Yasa share biom. Ya bompa say me gidi say obo ade na adom ohwe me nso me hoye me okay bibia ya okay. Though with challenges, there's challenges, but the obo ade na say ya hoye we are doing well, we are fine. Though there's challenges, but we are getting over it little by little. We know how those things are, so we are getting over it little by little. I'm greeting all of you. I hope you are fine. We pray and ask the mother of the universe, the supreme being, the creator, the source of life, to bless you, protect you, and your entire family. When I in chia, so you say good morning. So where we are, you say good afternoon. So enumera, you say good evening. Me gidi say obi biara ni baby awo ni baby awo hwe me bibia ye okay ohun ye say challenge bi ana o how bi mpo wo ho a it doesn't matter, just relax, it's part of life. E ka brabo no ho nti eye den a eso ebetwa adofo yegusu a ye discuss ye nkyerɛkyerɛ no a yegusu a ye no yegusu a ye nti we nso eye another episode of the teachings we are doing. It is briefly what we are doing is that we are saying, let's flip the other side of the coin. Let's check the other side of what we are doing. Let's check the other side of all the things we have in hands. So we are discussing the dominant religion in our society. Religions are dominating, and religions are omo ema akura yan for so long. Emun sem dosun unima unim. If you do not know, you do not know. The fact that you don't know does not mean that those things are not there. They are there. So, we are discussing patriarchal religions. Bema ena eye bibia, bema ena eye King Kong, bema ena eye kokotako, bema na eye bibia, nyamin kasa ni ma, oni mema na eye kasa. Communication bia nyame ba bia no ne mba na kasa mba ye impure mba ye mbonsamfo mba ye whatever mba oba ose nyama ni period ba ose nyama oya bonsam oya den bla 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 bla. So nyame no a ono de bema nko ano ne omu kasa na mbema no nso one omu kasa no abrofo nko a only white men, blacks are not part. So all the prophets are white skinned people. Yes, sir, religion no, and I can't want them. Yet they are discussing Judaism briefly. Go into details. We didn't discuss into details briefly. So what we want is that if you are someone that seek the truth, if you are someone that is learning, we are saying we are not going into details because ye person wonso ukwana uko hwehwem, ye person wonso ukwana uko ready. Go read yourself, go check it. That is what we are saying. That is why we don't go into details, and we want to save some of the time because there's a lot ahead that we want to be discussing. So we are doing it briefly so that you also go and check. The reason why we don't want to go into details too much is that, you don't believe us. Maybe because you are a Christian, we are discussing Christianity. I'm not a pastor. I'm not your pastor. I'm not your priest. I'm not your bishop. I'm not your anything. So you might not trust and believe what I'm saying. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm just giving you the tips. Go check. When you go check and it is like that, then you ask questions. Take your questions to your pastor. Take your questions to your priest. Take your questions to your malam. Take your question to your sheikh. Take your question to your shehu. Whoever you want to ask, so that they will check it and answer you. When they are answering you, pay attention to them. Are they answering you properly, or they are covering things up? Do they know what they are telling you, or they are just telling you what they've been copy and paste? You see, the problem is this. When we were so religious, this is what was happening to us. There is this religious debate, Islam-Christian debate that we all watched, we all witnessed before. To be honest with you, the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened to some of us in our life is those debates. Those debates didn't offer anything in our life. seriously, and still those debates are still going on. Now, the most biggest thing that is happening under those debates, that debate na na say for no. Nyama esi wase pa enini. You see, we are not saying dialogue is no good, but where in particular, nyama esi wase pa ni say obi ba betie se na ye bebo obi echi. Obi ba betie se na obi kata ono ne de so na wa bo obi echi. Someone is coming to listen to how one particular religion is lambasting the other. Someone want to listen to how one religion covers or has covered their own naughty things, their own nasty things, or their own things that has question mark. Someone will cover it, and someone is coming to listen to someone lambasting. Obi jai fear to honor or can obi fear some. That is what is happening. That's the biggest thing that is coming out of those religious debates, and it has happened over and over again. And I think they are still doing it. Hey, nothing good is coming outside there. We are not saying dialogue is not good. We are ready to dialogue on anything, on any platform, and on any topic, but not the kind of that dialogue that is taking place. Brethren, yet also, if you remember the last episode that we did about this Christianity thing, we talked about the prophecy, and then we mentioned things that flogged the argument of the prophecy of the coming of Jesus the Christ. Yaka, you see, usha nyamano any sena esitie na ube who said prophecies no enye juma yaka verses nibi ena ya boni nyina egu enye na ye bo enye yen na ye bogu ye verses na nkasa kase omunye prophecies of the coming of Jesus the Christ omunni ho. The only one na ebeka ye Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14 ena yakasa wo ho ena nea amanfo bi nso aka wo ho yaka. And then we mentioned some of these books that you can go and get some of these things. If not for anything, we mentioned the Dixon Teachers Bible. You can go and check it out. So that is it. The patriarchal Abrahamic faith. Because omuna omaji fold nafa. And there is this thing that is happening with them. They have this attitude of they don't like cohabitation. Patriarchal religions, Abrahamic faith, omumpe cohabitation, coexistence, they are not good at it. See, they are okay condemning and criticizing other people's beliefs and other people's faith. But when you touch their own, you criticize their own, they will come after you. They want to kill you. Omu to me kasa etia ebinumu ejidie. Omu to me kasa etia obinumu adiyo in terms of spirituality. Ba onya ka omu de epe na adani asem na ye pese ye kun na ye pese ye twauti ye say yembo ye say yemprao. I just don't understand. Now based on this question nene say adofo mujidi say anka ye nananum esum yana nanom traditional way esum ene ebe to one of these patriarchal religions and one of this Abrahamic faith, other Judaism, Christianity and Islam, and kenu na dominate wo baby na yana nanom sum eba betunu na enunso abe participate wo wa mujidi sanka sa esum wo mbopini. They will not agree omumma any other faith, any other belief to come and stay with them in the same place. They can cohabit with them. But when theirs came, omomu de ba yano, yena nanomu de omu nsamenu, eji omu tumu, yena nanomu ji omu nsamenu, accepti omu, ema omu baby etna. See, obi biara uye more than 30 years, and less than 30 years work room hano. You could see, say, some of people who reverted to Christianity. Woman say omu na nabi wo wa onu ni dia ne say o mamamre omu na nanu mu akwan ya na oyusu ba ni na nanu mu omu ko church ne na sefo no onu omu nku da on didi omu atem da onu omu ni problem da o sorry obekon ne bosom dem. When he wakes up, he will go to his shrine They will never fight. If you are more than 30 years in this country, you will know that. You have one elderly person in one family that he's still with his traditional way of belief, but he doesn't fight with his grandchildren and his family, and even maybe with his own sons and daughters going to church, or with his own sons and daughters being Muslims. He doesn't fight with them. But patriarchal religions can never accept this. So from the way they are behaving, utumishwana what I say, anka omuna, anka patriarchal religion na ewa Ghana ha, ansa na yana nanomu die ba, anka yana nanomu die enya bebiant na. Why is it like that? Why? I don't think necessary, yes, sir. So that is why pensum, so that we should understand that we cannot be on the same table. We cannot be on the same platform. The fact that we are not being the same table on the same platform, or we are not eating the same food, does not make me your enemy. That is the point. So if you are ready to throw stones to other people's houses, then check your house properly. Bro, you are living in a glass house. So bibia nyashwe and our biadia nyashwe. That is point number one. Point number two. The point is that we are discussing patriarchal religions because they are all the same thing. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam is the same thing. They are all the same thing. Judaism ni Christianity ni nyina at the cross. The same level. They are coming from the same place. They are coming from the same source. And they are all the same thing. It is a leftover of Mesopotamian belief, and it is a patriarchal belief. Patriarchal belief, that is all. That is why we are discussing it. Young topic, so we discussed the prophecies, and we gave an example, and we discussed where there's a leakages. Baby, a leakages, prophecies na ya say eno na kasa efa Yesu Kristo ni bamu no na ne ebe ka ba akopɛ na ya ka ho asɛm Isaiah 7:14 eno nso ya ka ho asɛm say na manfo the way learned scholars who are even Christians talked about, and then we gave some examples in terms of the virgin word, which is not the word for virgin in Hebrew language. Yama Emmanuel edina ya si ye de betono no yantuno sa edini yetunu Jesus, and Jesus and Emmanuel. The meaning is two different things, and that the gap between the meaning of Emmanuel and the meaning of Jesus, which is coming from Esau, is far. Like omuntemunu wa, it is a formula soro omuntemunu wa, so it cannot be him. So this is some of the inconsistencies of the prophecy. And then ni bet and ayeka briefly. Yan can be briefly. As related to as related to what we discussed earlier or the past episode, this is what we want to say. When you go to the Bible, the entire Bible has only mentioned the word Emmanuel only twice. Twice. That is it. So if he is said to be Emmanuel and now he is Jesus Christ, you can see how it is. Now, this is the point. Say, some woman way ye claim say nyami hone fiba. Now, when ye inconsistency, any irregularity say e wo mu a. Nyami be na kasa asem we, which of the gods is speaking? You see, I think I've said this more than once. There are so many gods there. There's a difference between the source of life, the creator, the supreme being, mother of universe, and what we call God. People can use God and they are referring to so many things. God is God. People can call God and they are referring to so many things. So, Senyamina kasa, and it is God that is speaking in this book. And this is the crash, the inconsistencies, the irregularities. Then entwasumu enkwaye nyame no wanhwe ya asa nyame no ya confused. In the beginning of the Christianity, I said we are historian, and I said historian be sorry one day now without patience now okay said the figure of Jesus Christ has never existed. Men who like don't blame them. Don't blame any historian who will say this. You don't have to blame them. So this is the point. Now, Jesus Christ ni birth na wo ewo Bible mu eba wo book menu mu eba books menu mu book a edi kan a edi baaye eye Matthew ena book eto so menu a edi baaye eye Luke. Now these two books that brought this the birth of Jesus Christ, the genealogy of Jesus Christ and all that. When you pick some of the Bible, offer Bibles nibia. Neewo munie. We say Matthew diano or you say genealogy of Jesus Christ. And Luke diano or no the ancestors of Jesus Christ. Now, the problem is that Matthew has so many names. Or our listy. One listy a abubo e dini bebre. Enumpon or the start here Matthew chapter 1. Ukohwa edaho clear, edaho openly. It's obvious in Matthew chapter 1 verse 1. Echo. Enu no the start here. And a well list oh yeah, no and all ka say. I want to was one generations no before the escape to Babylonia and after coming back from Babylonia, I want to was one generations near back 14. The generations are 14 generations before the escape to Babylonia and then after the escape to Babylonia. This is what Matthew said about Yesu Christu now war the genealogy. This is what Matthew mentioned. Now, edino a watro wo hodo ni naano anka ni pepemunu Luke nso de ne de eba no anka esese Luke onu nso nye den onu nso anka at least on those names na Matthew de baye no anka esese Luke nso mfa the same names no fa ba. But it's all a shock. It's amazing. Luke brought different things all together. Edini enfa baako. Ehwana obekwa akohu se ewo Luke diemunu. Obekwa akohu se Yesu, Jesus the Christ. The grandfather is Heli, not David anymore. The grandfather is Heli. Like and our body different edino enfa edino nko. So you go pick it and read it. When you read it, you will see ukoridia ubehu ko cheki eyewodie eyewosom. And this is something that is related to the next episode and the next religion, the next Abrahamic faith that will come after the Christianity. And this story has played a key role in the next religion, which is Islamic religion, which came and emphasized the existence of this figure, which is known as Jesus the Christ. The two accounts were crashing each other. The two accounts were very, very far away from each other. Uko check here, so flip the other side of the coin. This is what we are saying. Uko check here, completely. And to when a pointer Eddie Kaya, it was our episode more episode Matthew Diano, any Luke Diano, and fact. Now, if this book were to be inspired, and all these two books were to be inspired from God, which God is speaking and contradicting himself or herself or itself like that? I don't know even minim gender me de be manyame no. Nyame ben na or kasa or contradicting who say. Which God is that? Which God is contradicting himself or like the contradiction clear and I think a lot of people have done this before and they've read it for you several times and all that. So you can go check it. What we are saying is this. Go pick your Bible, check it, and ask questions. We might be lying. If you think what we are saying is not like that, only problem. Or they offer a book. na kofa o Bible na check na wo want to aso check Matthew there na check Luke there difference no ye too much. Nti question number 1 niahi Luke there na afi nyame ho ana Matthew there na afi nyame ho. This is the problem. Nti we na ye ka nti we na ye point number 1. Point number 2, sana meka ayeno the existence or the name Jesus Christ has played a huge role in Islamic religion as well. Now, let's look at this thing. Since I started here, person mo ana ye bie sa Jesus Christ na bakwasem ni nasefo up and down ye ko ba no inconsistencies no edoson. Inconsistencies no edoson. Now, say inconsistency no edoson say ya. Like, how is it coming from God? Eye den na fi nyame. Adenti na nyame be contradict no ho. Adenti na nyame be ka asem wo baby. Now I be ka different thing wo baby. Why? What is it? Is it that God is playing a dash? A ludo and a gambling. So you see, this is very, very problematic. And you are set to go to heaven based on this belief. You are set to have a connection between God or whatever based on this belief. You are set to have salvation based on this. And this is the very pillar that your inquadie, your salvation is based on, has question mark. Contradictions here and there. And then what will you do it? Like, will you allow your foundation to be like this? Or you check it and see if there's a correction, you will correct it. This is what we are telling you to check and cross-check distance. Now, let's come to the other aspects of the story. The other aspect of the story is that looking at the inconsistencies, any irregularities, muna usha like a contradiction asemuni ensisisono. Near a woman, I don't think say still you want to believe say nyame and a kasa asemu way. And as nyame na eka and their mistake aba baby, until you correct that mistake, don't use your religion to intimidate anybody. Until you correct this mistake no, menjina o religion so mfa nka se obi a on new religion mu wayra. Menjina o religion so mfa nka se obi a onye o religion member no, and obi a on follow o religion no obekọ hell. Obi a won follow religion no has a problem. No, don't do this, because when you do this, oh yeah, aye bone, oh yeah, aye wudini, because one kasankasa odiano enjina ye enchaye. That is the point. Until we and ayeka concerning Yesu Christo na wona asem. Ko cheke ni aye di better to bi obi enini. Now, the place of birth is another contradicting. And try baby aye wo no and try and also another contradiction. Baby aye wo when he was born is another thing. The place he was born is another problem. And in baby aye wo no ewo Matthew book mu ye wo no wo fie. He was born in the house. Now, God inspired Matthew to write that Jesus was born in the house. God inspired Matthew to write that Jesus, the Christ, was born in the house. Isa bin Maryam, the way we call him in Arabic, Isa bin Maryam was born in the house according to the book of Matthew. God inspired Matthew to write this. In the book of Luke, God inspired Luke to write that Yewo Jesus the Christ ewo nantwebuo mu. God inspired Luke to write, say, baby ayenye mboa eho ena yewo Jesus the Christ. It is either this God that inspired Matthew to say yewo Yesu ewo nantwebu efie no a different God. And a God now catch Luke inspire Luke nso say one chro say yewo no wo nantwebuomu so a different God, then they will become more than one God. Na eni ye nananom mu believe na ye ka say ye bosonsom say ewo na abeye pe ana debi say ye nyame kro no na eye sa inspirations we are, then please this nyame is confused. This God is confused. Now the reason why we are telling you this is that kohwemu na cheki na hwe. Now, if these inconsistencies, sasa contradictions we ewa, what it means is that the next religion na eba ye na enunsu edi Yesu Kristo na sem edi ba ye no. Enunsu sa inconsistencies we bekano. What I mean is that Islamic religion, which came to confirm the existence of Jesus the Christ, and where the source of Jesus the Christ is coming from, is having this problem concerning the figure, Jesus Christ. And the next religion came to confirm it, that means a honso, this figure story will have a question mark, because that is where it is coming from. Besides, Quran came after it is said that Jesus left 650 years. 6 centuries. Answer na Quran by historically. If you want to study a historical figure, you study historical figure during who studying historical figure ewo ni contemporary mreso mra otia sa period na odi hwehwe na asemu nko bisa ana nko hwehwe na asemu obi a wo ba na chi long ago, even if it is 200 years after or not 300 years and away 6 centuries after, it means that hey, something is really wrong somewhere. Something is really wrong somewhere. So the next religion and also by confirming the existence of the Jesus the Christ has a lot of questions to answer when it comes to this discrepancies and this inconsistencies. The discrepancies are too much. Edosun irregularities edosun. So this is the point. Now point ayedi we enini. Last episode numuni ye discuss bibi efa ye ka bibi fa Quran mu concerning the approach of angel Gabriel ana osurabofo Gabriel or approach Mary oni Mary din kitamudie concerning na wo obenya ewo Quran mu eni nasefo. And I said say in verse numu enyina no kire say Mary has been chosen eni nasefo ena angel na akasa. Now Quran chapter number 3 ena eye verse aye quote ye chapter aye quote ye Quran chapter number 3 verse 42 43 44 45 45 mu ena angel no kachre. Quran chapter 3 verse 45 ena angel no kachre Mary say obewo ena yebetu no Isa bun Maryam Jesus the son of Maryam osa frɛ no Almasi. Now Mary bisa a question after say angel no akachre no wasan akachre verse 46 no angel na akachre Mary adwuma sa Isa bun Maryam no ana Jesus the son of Mary no beye 46 no okaye. Nti Quran chapter 3 Al Imran verse 47 and Mary bisa question and Mary bisa enie or say call let call it. And Mary say, Quran chapter number 3, verse 47. And make a call it. And Mary say, Rab, oh, me nyang kupon, ana miwura. Rab is Lord. Rab is Lord. Just like the way it's in Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Rab is Lord. Oh, miwura, ana minyame. Oh God, anna yakunu li waladun. Esidain na menyaba. Esidain na mewo. How can I conceive, or how can I have a child? Walam abra lam yamsasni basharun. Nipam beman fani hun kame. Yamsasni, the word mas is to touch. Here, you don't take it literally. To touch here means to have intercourse, to have relationship, man, female, male relationship. Beman fani hun kame. Mary, this is a question, at least. So when we are urging you to ask questions, we are not doing anything. At least we are telling you to do what Mary did. So Quran chapter number 3, verse 47. Or see, Ade meyes eside na menyaba walam yamsasni basharun bra obian fa ne hun kame beman fa ne hun kame eside na manyaba ebeba ni den. How can I conceive without having an intercourse? Qala ena angel no ka say kadhalika Allah yakhluqu ma yasha. Ena angel no ka say sana Allah yakhluqu obo ade no yakhluqu ma yasha. Obo ade se na ope bia ekwan ya ope a ofa so bebo ade no ewo ne ho onu na obo ade se na ope bia yakhluqu ma yasha. And o si idha qada amran se shamra ana so ohye ade se enye ho a amran bibi se enye wa fa innama nia oye nie yakulu oka kire oka se opese ade bi ye ho a. When he want to execute a plan, when Allah want to execute a plan, when Allah want to execute something, when Allah want to establish something, this is what he call. He will say, kun, be, fayakun, and it shall be. Sana, angel no, eyi Mary no. Say, sana ujin se obia, beman fane hon ka onte onwono, mensuro enono eye. Allah ni tumi. Sana oye ne nyama kun fayakun tieni ye kun opesa ade ne ye wana o ka se enye ho fayakun na aye ho enye ho na aye ho mpacha keep point we mame sa point we be ba ye second episode no mu ye de be ka asem Allah nti ne a kire ne se ye funu nyinsan no according to Quran chapter number 3 verse 47 no nyinsan no Allah be ka say kun nyinsan ni ye ho fa yakun na nyinsan na aba sa na nyinsan ni be ba Mary yem pepepepepe kun nyinsan ni ye ho na nyinsan na aba sa na be ba Mary yem pepepepepe. The same thing that is going to happen to Mary kun fa yakun sa na be ye enye ho na aye ho. Where the kun fa yakun ase kire no kun means be fa yakun and it shall be na aye ho kun enye ho fayakun na aye ho sa na obe no nti nyinsen Mary ni nyinsen no sa na ebeba no. Now ahanu Mary bisa angel no question say esi den Quran chapter number 3 verse 46 Ali Imran 47 rather 47 obisa angel no question say ebe esi den na mafayefun bra na obi amfa ne ho nkame ena angel no yi na no say eye nyame ni pe obeka say enye ho na aye ho. Ma me question a me bisa wa ne say enne se abayiwa bi a ye hu say won be ma mfa ne ho nka no ye hu say oye basabasa nso na all from nowhere na odinyin bre yen odinyin be pie ye so. As a believers of Abrahamic faith, one of Abrahamic faith, as a Christian and as a Muslim, na ba you anu di nyinsan be pie wo yeso na obeka kire yen se ni nyinsan no fi nyame kun fa yakun nyame se enye ho na nyinsan ni be hyan yemfu a mpachaw believers of the Abrahamic faith mu beji ne atumu ana mu njini ntum esesa mu jini tum because nearly 2000 years ago ewo kuro bi so a onni ho bi no wagi ne atum because wagi God nyame na oye sa na atum sa nyame na oye sa mbre no no na oye nyame up to date until you don't have to reject her. We must take her. Who knows, maybe she's bringing another Jesus. Stick to us. Aha na yedi besi. Next point ne beba na ne amede twa to nie sa point we am ready ewo Quran chapter number 47 no Mary question angel no Mary afre angel no say Rab, my Lord. The Rab here is referring to the angel. Offering say my Lord no. Uko Luke chapter 26 echo down the same komo I don't know who copied from who. Stick to us. Second episode in Baba. Thank you for watching. Share it. We are learning. Go check them out. Both the Quranic verse and the biblical verses. Check them out and you know that these things we are saying are real. Thank you for watching. I adore you. Until we meet, I say bye-bye.